project, open mic. Let's get the show off right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here with me, cause
it's project, open mic. Let's have a good show tonight.
Let's get the topic straight, let's get things good, let's do everything that we should.
It's project, open mic. Let's get the show off right.
Let's open our minds and take out our style. Let's see what's going on in the world tonight.
It's project, open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project, open mic. Let's get the show off right. It's project, open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project, open mic. Let's get the show off right. It's project, open mic. Let's have a good show tonight. It's project, open mic. Let's get the show off right.
What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tig for Project Open Mic. Hope you all doing well for another Thursday. Another interesting show we talk about tonight. So hope you guys are doing well. I want to thank everybody for joining us in on all platforms, from YouTube to 10.fm to YouLive to YouNow to Nico to Rumble to Locals, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher, not Stitcher, Pandora, sorry, it's Pandora now, and many more platforms. Again, whatever you want to, when you see this microphone right here, Project Open Mic, you know in the right place. Check it out, Google, Amazon as well too, all right? So, my lovely mother face, how you guys are doing? I hope you guys are doing very well tonight. So, we're going to be talking about an issue that it looks like people are starting to wake up. Are they? We don't know. But I dabble into this piece by piece, but tonight I'm just being more centric fusion onto that point right there. And just talk about the open borders and situation. And for those out there who are also in my situation, I like to call out for edification. They're not migrants, they're illegals. I'm sorry, I'm a migrant. I'm a legal immigrant. I came to this country the right way and the right way. They came the wrong way. Now don't say that. I'm not hard to say that people are running from prosecution and danger and stuff like that. But there's a thing where if people are running away from their own stuff, they're not gonna fix it when it needs to be fixed. But with that said, I just want to, like I said, talk about that. Like I said, I hope everybody is having a good night. So we're going to be talking about situations today. So, hey. So first, let me just get it straight out. Like I said before, I'm an immigrant. I came to America lawfully because my grandmother and my other family members, we went through the whole process, spent thousands and tens of thousands of dollars to do what we had to do to get us to become legal citizens. My mom, like I said, I remember that trip like it was yesterday. It was my mom and a couple other family members that are distant. There were three people, two more people. My mom, my grandma. The three people, five. My two cousins. My aunt, which is their mother. My other aunt. It was literally, like I said, about 10 people we made this trip so we could went to the right way to get the right documents, to get a green card. Then after they get a green card, become United States citizen. Again, if there are people out there who have done the exact same thing as us or even stronger. Now, again, I'm not heartless. I do know, I do understand and believe that there are people who are really running from bad situations. My family was not one of them. We were just trying to better ourselves, so we followed the law. And there are people, like I said, doing that. But you cannot just step over people and just get all the stuff you have. People are talking about, oh, there's 6 million, 6 million, and I don't have the clip with me, but if you want to check it, again, I bring my receipts, but I got the receipt for this one. But if you want to check it, go to C-SPAN, and you can check out the debate with Mayorkas. That's the name. That's Joe Biden's border czar. He's the head of security. The security. Go talk to him, because he had a clip of him saying some stuff because he was trying to. They from since Biden has taken over office, right? There have been 6 million people let into this country. 6 million people. They don't know who they are. They don't know what they do. And now that we have this war with Israel and Hamas, and also we have the same thing with with Ukraine and stuff, and I'm taking Iran is throwing their part into this. We don't know what underground cells are in America. We're gonna get attacked. It's not if, but when. Because I said it back then in 2008, and I'm saying it all to now, from the radio show up to now. We're gonna get attacked. It's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna sneak in something that could have been prevented, but because we want to play politics with other people's life and everything, it's gonna cause problems. And that's the sad part. That's the only way you will get almost a unanimous amount of people to close the borders. It's only a fringe people who open the borders. And the thing about it is, these are the same fringes who don't want it. They say, oh, bring these people, whatever. Well, we will be looking at some of these people today and see what happened. And again, you're losing out, including for black people, black Americans. Again, I'm sorry, you voted for this. You're having a lot of illegal immigrants coming over and taking your jobs, taking your they gain more welfare than you yourself. Again, remember I put out there are places in Chicago they were giving illegal immigrants $7,000 a month. But Hawaii, a state that got burnt up, the island that got messed up in the fires, they were going to give you $1,000, $900, $700 the most, and then they said, okay, let's double it up, and that was it. That's what I'm going to give to you. You, a citizen who pay taxes not once, you pay taxes multiple times, and this is what they were going to give to you. Does that make a fair assessment of what's going on with your life? Your food price has gone up. You ain't got no house. You can't find a job. Inflation is killing everything. Your dollar can't be stretched no more than what it is. But we're giving it $7,000 to people who simply just walk across the border. And yeah, we're going to get. And the thing about it killing me is some of these people have some demands. Holy crap. Some of these people who ain't put a skin in the game are demanding how we should treat them.
What? What the fuck?
Now, I've said this before, and I'll state it here before I get into this full story. I'm gonna try to make this a short, sweet show tonight. But yes, I know people who are illegal immigrants who are nice people, who work hard, who don't do no trouble, and some of them gain their citizenship. Some are trying to, and the system is messing it up. So I'll blame the system on some of that stuff. But majority of them, I'm not a super fan of that. You know why I'm not a super fan of that? Because again, my cousin was killed by illegals for no reason at all. Just wrong place, wrong time. and what they did was, again, it was America's Most Wanted, and it was a tragedy. And I'm so angry of that when I found out what happened when they reenacted America's Most Wanted. I saw really what happened. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like I said, I told my girlfriend at that time, and I told anybody, you wouldn't want to be around me that time, because that's the last time I was legitimately, like, straight up anger, raging, pissed. No. That was the second last time. The last time was, again, funny again. My friend, who again who immigrated, who was legal, who came over and became a legal citizen, and had a husband, got married in California, had 4 kids, 4 kids, and a legal
You piece of loser.
person who did multiple crimes and should have been locked up. And my stance is this: if you do crimes and you're illegal, no, don't send him back. Keep him in jail. You want to do the crime, you want to be over here, we're gonna keep you in jail for whatever. He beat an old woman. He beat up a pregnant woman. He threatened other people. He should have been in jail, had a gun, illegal, whatever, but they kept on letting him back out in the streets. And the office that let him back out on the street was Kamala Harris. It's an old video on one of the episodes of this show that I played the footage of it. But she let him back out, and now he's in jail for life because of what? Oh, because he went up and tried to rob my friend, trying to carjack my friend's car with the husband in it. But the husband didn't want to give the car because he has his sons in there. So what did the
You piece of loser.
Did he killed my friend's husband and 2 kids? So sympathies is not that. I have another friend who also got raped, and lucky for me, I told her what to do, because people say, "Oh no, she did whatever," but she went through, and that person who did that to her, and he's locked up for life as well too, isn't illegal. That's why I always do the stance of there is no, like I said, I don't care what it is. Evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, height, sex, nationality, genders, whatever you want to call it. Evil comes in that. Illegal, legal, migrant, not migrant. It comes in all situations. So, yeah, we gotta figure it out. And it's sad. It really is. But it looked like and the situation that's going on the border is that. So Arizona, Florida, and Texas always getting floods of illegals. Joe Biden, most Democrats, don't get me wrong too, some Republicans as well too, just dilly-dally and don't do nothing. Okay, that's the situation. That's what happened. Right? Y'all don't want to do nothing. They were getting hundreds of thousands of people tracking over over it, and they can't do nothing. Now you had states and politicians who made this political, saying, "Oh, Texas, y'all, we welcome everybody. We welcome people in there. Open arms." I'll show you, and all this stuff like that. But because they used to stay in those places, except for California, in those places, people say, "Oh, whatever." Okay. Then California started the whole sanctuary city nonsense.
What?
And after that, all the other cities like Martha's Vineyard, New York, Chicago, excuse me, what's the other place up there? Seattle, Oregon, Portland, all of them said, "Oh, we're sanctuary cities. You could come here, whatever." Okay, so what Texas did and what Florida did, which to me I think is a smart thing, they said, "Oh, you want them? Okay, here you go. There you go. Have fun. You can have them." Now, citizens at first was like, oh yeah, we will do it, we will blah 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 blah. Now that they see how it's a strain on their system and how they're not getting stuff and crime has gone up in their places, not only crime from illegals, but crime because defund the police and all that nonsense that helped nothing. There was a 13-year-old boy who got killed in New York because he went to carjack a federal officer. Well, he found out the hard way. Now he did die. An officer killed him because again, you don't know whatever because he had his hand in his had his hand in his pocket and the officer killed him. Sadly, there's a 13-year-old boy that. But come to find out, last year, this 13-year-old boy carjacked and had assault and battery crime charges. He's 12 years old at this time. You know what? Again, I'm not that kind of person. I bring my receipts. I'll show you. This is a sad story. That should never happen. But we are just letting a lot of things go unchecked. I feel bad for the boy that he lost his life at a young age. But as my grandmother says, play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. You win stupid prizes. So you won the ultimate grand prize. You got a trip off this planet because y'all playing dumb games. You playing dumb games. So let's just look at this situation here. I'll show you. 7-year-old boy. This is crazy. I mean, that's not 7-year-old boy. Sorry, 13-year-old boy, a 7th grader. That's what got me thinking. A 7th grader. Let's check this out. I'll show you what I'm talking about here. Cause this is crazy.
The bio or the description section. Let's look at this headline. 7th grader shot and killed while trying to do what? Carjack an off-duty federal security officer in D.C. Now, I know for a fact right now Benjamin Crump is already at a Motel 6 with a hooker after he went out here to try to defend this young boy. This kid ended up getting shot. Skip that part. And the fact that this is just one of many things that a 7-year-old boy is doing. Roll the clip.
It was here on D Street Northwest outside an office building that 13-year-old Bernard Tony Jr.
13. My boy is 13. My son is 13. There is no way a 13-year-old should be doing any of this. It's impossible. 13, he's a baby.
Was shot and killed when he allegedly tried to carjack an off-duty federal security officer. It was around 10 Saturday night. Police say the officer was sitting in his car waiting for a shift to start when 2 juveniles told him to get out. According to the report, one of the teens had his hand in his front waistband pocket as if he had a handgun. And as he was complying, the officer pulled a gun and shot Tony in the chest.
And I know I can see the race hustlers right now. Oh, but you know what? I don't know the color of the officer, and I bet they won't show it because the officer probably black, working in that neighborhood, ended up shooting that boy. That's why they don't make a big deal out of it. However, and he could be white, but with what they're doing, it seemed like he.
We mostly think he's black because they don't show the officer and say the name and all kind of stuff. Because you know he was that. They'll be quick to say, oh, hands up, don't shoot, all that nonsense they did before. We know. Maybe
black. Because they would say a white officer did this and this and that. But I can hear him right now. Oh, he was just a kid and he didn't even do nothing and he didn't even have a gun. It's like somebody that patrol that area or that works in that area, that knows anything about the area, know that these boys ain't playing. 13-year-old, 14-year-old, 15-year-old, you can't tell the difference. A gun ain't got an age. You pull a trigger on it, a 3-year-old can pull it on it, a 90-year-old can pull it on it.
Exactly.
It's still going, it can still kill you.
Yeah.
It can still put you in a negative position. So, anywho, let me finish this clip.
A second juvenile ran away. The off-duty officer's gun was the only one recovered from the scene.
Guns, carjackings, 13-year-olds.
And poor leadership.
Recipe for tragedy.
Two sources familiar with the investigation confirmed that Tony was arrested last May for a carjacking and robbery spree. This map shows the area where...
Check this out. This is what I'm trying to say. Look at that. Armed carjacking. This is what he did last year at 12 years old.
Where he allegedly committed 9 crimes in a 6-week period.
9 crimes in a 6-week period. Armed carjacking. Armed carjacking. Armed carjacking. Armed robbery. Armed carjacking. Armed robbery, and assault.
What the fuck?
This was a little terror. Where were the parents? What was going on? Why was this kid going around stealing cars, jacking cars? What was he doing at 13 years old doing this bull crap? This is what's going on right now because we're just letting society fall apart. I could go more into this story, but this is what I said. This is not all. This is a part of the whole thing too. Security officer did what he did. Sadly, he took a life, and he was a little boy. But, bruh, don't roll. It basically is one of those stories when you know f around and find out. He found out the hard way. But point taken. Let's get into the story what I'm talking about tonight. That's tonight about the crime and everything else. Oops, not that. Wrong thing.
As the migrant crisis grows in New York City, a reticketing office has appeared to offer one-way flight tickets out of New York. Destination anywhere. It's like Escape from New York if the city was trying to get you to leave. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. New York City is drowning in illegal immigrants. Remember when New York City Mayor Eric Adams said the migrant crisis would destroy New York City?
Never in my life have I had a problem that I did not see an ending to. I don't see an ending to this. I don't see an ending to this. This issue will destroy New York City.
Well, maybe if you wasn't so cocky and told people to come to your city, oh, we're a sanctuary city, we could do it. I'll play the receipts. You know I got them. Maybe this wouldn't be an issue, sir.
Destroy New York City. We're getting 10,000 migrants a month.
While Texas and Arizona, California are getting millions. You get 10,000. Want a quickie?
Wait, he never saw a problem he didn't see an ending to. Does that mean he saw an ending to New York's rat problem?
Yeah, right.
What did that look like? They'd all die of high cholesterol after eating so much pizza? You see a disgusting rat, I see a hard-working father trying to feed his turtle sons. But the illegal migrant problem has only gotten worse. Everything from hospitals to legal firms are getting overwhelmed by illegal immigrants.
Yep.
Across public hospitals in New York City, over the last year, nearly 30,000 visits by migrants and 300 new babies born to migrant moms.
And there are waiting lists, and people are turning people away or referring them to other places.
Randy Red.
So let me get this straight. Your mom, you want to give a child. Again, I'm not against this part, but it's still weird. I pay taxes. I gotta give birth to my son if I'm a mom, but I can't get in because someone just came off get the spot and I can't.
What? Edkin from New York's Legal Assistance Group says so many migrants are asking for legal help on asylum representation and health care access. Now, she says, American citizens who need legal assistance with issues like eviction and insurance have to wait up to 10 weeks.
10 weeks. Holy, and you pay taxes every single day. From the food you buy to whatever, anything you buy, you pay taxes.
More than 130,000 illegal immigrants have arrived in New York City since last year. Many coming not only from South America, but also from as far away as West Africa.
Yep.
And every week, New York City gains about 4,000 more. The Roosevelt Hotel has been the hub for handling the incoming tide, but it's out of room and other shelters are too. The city has set up some slapdash alternatives, like housing migrants in vacant office buildings, and setting up 7 massive tents at the Naval Air Station Floyd Bennett Field. It feels like they're only weeks away from housing illegal immigrants in sewers. And then where are his teenaged sons going to live?
Exactly.
Adams has also lowered the time limit for staying in a shelter from 60 days to 30 days. Families are still allowed to stay for 60. After that, they have to reapply. At the same time, the New York Fire Department has closed multiple shelters for fire code violations, which doesn't help the space problem. Many have criticized Adams for putting tougher restrictions on shelter and setting up tents since winter is coming. And yet, things have gotten so bad that Adams is seeking to suspend the right to shelter. That's part of New York being a sanctuary city.
Exactly.
Even New York Governor Kathy Hochul is backing his call to suspend the right to shelter.
There you
In fact,
go.
Hochul said the interpretation that the city's decade-old right to shelter agreement applies to asylum seekers no longer makes sense to rational people.
Oh, rational people now. Oh, that's what we are. Well, that's what it is now.
I was under the impression that New York City wasn't home to many rational people.
That's what I say too, but anyway.
But something needed to be done. So, what's the most rational solution New York could come up with? Why, give migrants free one-way airfares to anywhere else but New York. And wait till you see how that's going down.
Oh, Lord. Why do we, majority of politicians have the most crappiest ideas? I don't know. Maybe we should, I don't know, close the border first. That'll be number one. Close the border first. Biden or Trump or whoever you want to do it, whatever it is, I don't care. Close the border. We let a certain amount of people, we know who they are, we figure out who they are. Because again, most of the migrants that came over, the illegals that came over, are men. Young men who could pull off stuff, that could do dangerous stuff if we're not careful.
More after the break. Welcome back. Adams is adamant that New York City just has no room for illegal immigrants.
What is it going to take before people understand what outer room means? Yes, we're placing people in conditions that are unfair for migrants, and it's unfair for New York City taxpayers.
Oh, you didn't think that before you told people to come to your state first when you were trying to go Texas? And you said, "Oh, hey, Texas governor, you're racist." Oh, he's racist. What? But now you're doing the exact same thing the Texas governor is doing.
Nani?
Exactly.
So his solution is to offer one-way plane tickets to anywhere. Many see this as the most tragic one-way plane rides in New York City.
Basically.
Well, second most tragic.
Yep. Yeah.
Actually, this plan isn't new. Documents unveiled by Politico showed that between April 2022 and April 2023, the city spent around $50,000 to send migrants everywhere from Florida to Texas and even foreign countries like China. Oh my.
Which, if you're black and you go to China, you're gonna end up in them Uyghur camps.
My God. I can't believe they would send them somewhere as scary as Florida. But it seems like New York City is now ramping up this strategy. The city's Office of Emergency Management has reportedly repurposed the closed St. Bridges School in East Village to help migrants with transportation through reticketing services, aka send illegal immigrants anywhere else. Some of them were bused to New York City from Republican southern states. It's become a huge game of hot potato, where the potato is people.
Yep.
Now, those people are being bounced around New York City from shelter to shelter and ending up at the reticketing station, which some thought was another shelter. The confusion led the city to put up this sign, which says in English, Spanish, French, Arabic, and Russian, "Attention."
You already know it's a problem if you got to put all these different languages up there because, again, nobody would assimilate. 1, 2. It's a bad idea for the whole situation. And also, New Yorkers, you are paying taxpayers, your money's going towards this bullcrap where your mayor and your governor, both of them, try to come off as, oh, we're welcoming to you guys. Oh, sure it is.
This is a reticketing hub. This is not a respite site/shelter. There are no beds at this site. We are here to help you get transportation to any state or country of your convenience. Any country? Does that mean they can request a ticket to Wakanda? Oh wait, of course not. That's ridiculous since Wakanda is, not known for taking in foreigners.
Exactly.
Wakanda wasn't woke, folks.
Thank
According
you.
to local newspaper The City, workers at other migrant shelters started handing out little slips of paper with the East Village site address, telling men to go there instead of the Roosevelt Hotel, which has served as the city's main...
See what it says? Telling men to go there. Ain't women, ain't children, men. That's why I said it's a young man out of most people who crossed over the borders. Military age men, which is a scary thing.
An intake center for all migrants. Why did New York City open a reticketing office? Well, one-way tickets, including international ones, are much cheaper than the accumulated daily cost of hosting illegal immigrants. The per-day cost has risen to almost $400 as of last month. $400 a day? It's actually pretty reasonable as far as New York City rent rates go.
Exactly.
I'm starting to think this city has more than just one problem.
Yeah.
The flights are reportedly voluntary. Illegal immigrants who are directed to go to the East Village Center are offered plane tickets. If they don't want to leave New York City, then they're simply turned away, with some going to spaces where they can wait for shelter availability. But like I said earlier, winter is coming, and I'll keep saying it. Maybe someday it'll actually arrive. Yes, I'm talking about the novels, not the show. Critics say flying people out violates the right to shelter provisions and that it sends a message that lacks compassion. Free voluntary flights lack compassion. How? Are they flights on Spirit Airlines?
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Oh my goodness.
Nani?
That's funny. Spirit Airlines, I know, right?
Because even if they were, okay, yeah, that would be inhumane. According to City Council member and the chair of the Immigration Committee, what we've witnessed from this administration, even if they're not directly saying, you've got to get out of here, is that they've consistently created hysteria and chaos and confusion and have not used a tone of inclusivity and welcome.
What? You have a problem? Of course, he had to. Okay. You have a problem. Unwelcome. Okay. When they start doing crime around your neighborhood, which they have been doing, and doing stuff, you be inclusive. Oh, wait a minute. When they start doing that, a lot of you people said, get the hell out of here. Because that's what it is. Not all those illegals have good intentions.
Somehow I don't think the city has been lacking in inclusivity and welcome. That's why there are so many illegal immigrants there in the first place.
Thank you.
She also brings up how applications for work or asylum can become more complicated once an illegal immigrant leaves the city's care. Despite these criticisms, a spokesman for Adams said, here, the city will redouble efforts to purchase tickets for migrants to help them take the next step in their journeys. And it helps us triage operations at the Roosevelt for new arrivals.
Oh my
help
Lord.
them take the next step in their journeys. Is it just me, or does it sound like they're breaking up with a yoga instructor?
I know, right?
Now, all of this seems more than just a little hypocritical. New York City is a self-declared sanctuary city with a right to shelter policy.
Yep.
We've taken everyone in is written on the tin. Southern border Republican states are tired of having to deal with far, far more migrants than what New York City is facing, while Democrats preach sanctuary for illegal immigrants without facing the costs.
Exactly.
They're also tired of being criticized for flying and busing migrants to New York City and other liberal cities up north, just to have Democrats embrace the same strategy once it becomes their problem. In fact, they're doing more by flying migrants to completely different countries. Not to mention the fact that these flights emit tons of carbon, so it's bad for the environment as well. What's next? Democrats, are you going to start handing out free guns without background checks and tell them to never get an abortion? But obviously, sanctuary cities don't want to admit they've made a mistake.
Nope.
Instead, they're blaming Republicans for what they're doing. Adams himself called Texas Governor Greg Abbott a madman down in Texas for sending migrants to New York. But does that make Adams a madman for sending migrants back to Texas? Or to other countries?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, what makes him a madman is believing there's an end to the rat problem in New York City. It's a hot mess. Illegal immigrants are coming to the U.S. to flee from hard times in their home countries, but will they be able to thrive in the modern lifestyle in the U.S.? There are challenges to that, which you can learn more about in my latest Deep Thoughts While Gaming, From Super to Super Sad, How Modern Life Destroyed Mario. Click that video.
Okay, now you're just being a joke. I didn't even know he had something. Deep Thoughts While Gaming. Okay, How Modern Life Destroyed Mario. Okay, I'm a gamer, so I'll watch that video when I get the chance. It ain't gonna be now. I didn't even know this dude had that, but I'll check it myself too. You're crazy, Chris. But anyway, let's keep on going with more of the situation. Now, like I said before, they demand some of these people, some of these migrants now are demanding luxury.
City shelter system buckles over the influx of migrants. Officials coming up with new ideas on where to house asylum seekers. One new idea, the mayor suggested the city could pay people to house migrants in their apartments.
Outside a hotel on the west side, a number of migrants are refusing to leave after the city sent buses to take them to a new shelter in Brooklyn.
New York City is offering migrants a free one-way ticket to anywhere in the world. City's established a new re-ticketing center in Manhattan.
New York City has begun paying migrants to leave the city. Now, this is shocking because it was New York that claimed they wanted migrants to come to New York.
And that's the part that I'm trying to... Here's my receipts. That's the point. You can't ask to say, hey, come on up here, whatever. And then now you're like, oh, get out of here. That's more evil, in my opinion, than y'all say, well, the Republicans or whatever, or people like me who was libertarian. No. Oh, come on in. Get the hell out. That's
you may think I'm over exaggerating this, but here is the governor of New York saying it just a couple of months ago.
We want people to come here, despite where they came from or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country and to this state. We say you are welcome here. We are welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you. And the richness of the culture and the diversity and the food and the restaurants that we know are going to be coming because of these efforts are beyond measure. It's an extraordinary part of our story. And it's woven into the story of New York, and it makes us more vibrant.
So, kids, don't do drugs. Please, can you say nonsense babble like that?
Wow, what a waste. The poor children.
The governor of the good state of Texas started sending the migrants because New York requested them, right? Then all of a sudden, the New York mayor started calling the Texas governor racist for sending the migrants that they requested.
Let's get it.
There's never... Again, you can't make this stuff up. That's what it literally... You just can't.
Another war of words between Mayor Adams and Texas Governor Greg Abbott.
CBS 2 political reporter Marsha Kramer reports that the mayor insists the migrant crisis is about race for the Republican governor.
Forced to cope with a flood of asylum seekers and with city services taxed to the max, Mayor Adams fired his big bazookas once again at Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He accused Abbott of using those coming to America as political pawns and, more explosively, of playing racial politics.
Look at that. They're coming to New York. And look, you see who that? They're shaking their hand.
Political pawns.
And look at that. They're shaking their hand and they're clapping. Oh, yeah. Until they start doing horrible stuff. Then
And more explosively, playing racial politics.
I cannot ignore the fact that Governor Abbott sent migrants only to cities with their black mayors.
You serious?
Portland don't have that. Neither does Seattle, but okay.
And it's undermining our cities.
But the buses kept coming because migrants were being put up in hotels and given housing in places like New York and Chicago. The migrants even started demanding to be taken care of. For instance, in New York City, migrants refused to leave the hotels for 10 cities that New York City created. They believed they had the right to be put up in hotels. I'm not joking.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jessica Moore. We begin with breaking news. Some asylum seekers are pushing back on a plan to move them to a new shelter in Brooklyn. Some even refusing to leave the Midtown Hotel where the city has been housing them.
Even in Chicago, the migrants started complaining about having to sleep outside in tents. They demanded better, saying that their conditions were like being in concentration camps in World War II. That's what they said. Listen to the clip.
I am with United Giving Hope, which is a non-for-profit organization that serves humanity beyond borders.
Before I go this, right? Before I keep on going with this, I have told my wife this before. I've told my wife this before. That there are certain type of people who think, and this proves it more and more and more. There's certain type of people who are bat crazy you cannot help. It's proving more and more and more. I won't say it here, but I've said it in the past, and y'all know what I'm saying. All right, let's get back in. But anyway, let's get back into the show.
Today, as a citizen of the United States of America,
yes,
knowing how great our nation is, knowing how rich we are in many aspects, and knowing the values that we have as Americans.
Okay.
This is unacceptable, inappropriate treatment of human beings. And if we want to look at history in America and in general what has been taught to us, there was a leader in Germany years ago, and his name was Adolf Hitler. And he came into office for a few months, and he created concentration camps. This is not the exact same thing, but it's very much a parallel.
No, it ain't. No, it's not. Not even close. Nowhere close. It's a big old gap. They're not getting gassed. They're not getting tortured. They're not put into slavery. No, they're not. And they came on their own free will up to this place. Again, no parallels at all, crazy lady.
Of taking human beings and telling them that they are less worthy of being allowed to simulate into our society.
First, they have to simulate, which they don't. They don't speak English. Some do, most don't. They don't do none of the simulation. That's why we had an immigration plan, like how I came to this country. I had to learn English. I had to learn about I had to take a test to learn about the country, which is America. I had to learn about the president, and I had to learn about the rules, the laws, the executive branch, the judicial branch. I had to learn all these things in an executive branch, which is, of course, the
undermining our.
That we had to do all that stuff, lady. That's assimilation. And it was years before I got my green card. I mean, my naturalization. I had a green card. Then I had to get naturalization.
Was a leader. This is not the exact same things, and telling them to assimilate into our society. This is not the answer of herding them into a tent city.
And let's not forget
they ain't got no place to go. See, we had to provide proof that we would have a place to go. When I came to America, I had to pay money to get an apartment. They are not doing that. They don't have the money. They're not working. So, and again, taxpayer dollars. I ain't got a lick of taxpayers' dollars when I came to America.
protests in the streets by New Yorkers over how much the city was spending on the migrant crisis. Exactly. They're throwing punches at each other.
A demonstration over the ongoing migrant crisis quickly turns violent. Protesters throwing punches, kicking, even choking each other. This chaotic scene unfolded at the doorstep of Gracie Mansion on Manhattan's Upper East Side. The NYPD made several arrests.
You know, one thing I always find interesting about stories like this is how the mainstream media is essentially ignoring this story.
Exactly.
Check this out. This is Ground News. And this is a story that this video is about. One-way plane tickets being offered by NYC to migrants. And here on Ground News, you get to see how 59% of the coverage of this story is right-wing sources. Essentially, the left is ignoring this whole controversy. And another thing I love about Ground News is that...
Not surprised by that, aren't you? Of course, the left is not even talking about that.
You get to also see how the migrant crisis is being portrayed in the various media sources, depending on who's covering it. As an example, if you look at NBC, they're calling them migrants. But if you look at Fox News, they're calling them illegal immigrants. Which do you think is a more accurate description of this migrant crisis? Now, finding unbiased and well-rounded coverage can be challenging when news organizations are swayed by their corporate interest. Look at this story, for example. Now, this is why I use Ground News.
And that's a good place to go. I've used it before. Go to Ground News to find out stuff. Because again, I want to hear all the stuff when I do my stories and bring my topics. I try to do all about it. So yeah, check out Ground News. It's really good in that regard.
In New York, that the mayor said this migrant crisis will destroy New York City. Well, New York said, let's start thinking about this rationally. Let's start thinking about it like if we were the governor of Texas. So New York started shipping migrants out of the city on buses.
I gotta say again, look at that look at that. My boy got on J's on, cap, nice clothes, and a nice suitcase too. But his suitcase was better than my suitcase. These migrants got some good stuff compared to, I mean, look at that white shoes. His shoes is cleaner than my shoes. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Take a look.
Now, ready or not, they've started busing migrants to upstate counties. But this is already receiving major pushback from local leaders. And now this battle heads to court.
Then the mayor of New York City, he got a better idea. He said, hey, we're close to Canada. Let's start sending migrants to the great country of Canada.
5 times a day, a Greyhound bus rolls into Plattsburgh, New York. But for many on board, their final destination is Roxham Road, the nearby illegal border crossing into Quebec. As the New York Post first reported, New York City is getting inspiration from places like Texas and Arizona and busing migrants out. Mayor Eric Adams told a local Fox station migrants are inundating his city, so his administration is paying for and busing migrants.
Again, look, I want to share. You got cell phones. Who's paying the cell phone bill? You're illegal. You came from another country. How you got a cell phone bill? What? None of this stuff don't make sense to me.
Migrants are inundating his city, so his administration is paying for their bus tickets to leave.
We found that people had other destinations, but they were being compelled only to come to New York City.
Because you told them you're a sanctuary city.
And we are assisting those who seek to go somewhere else. Some want to go to Canada, some wants to go to warmer states, and we are there for them.
And then
oh my God, you're full of ass, my brother.
Lastly, the city said, well, hey, listen, we're going to do this. We'll give any migrant a one-way plane ticket to any destination of their choosing. If you want to leave New York, we're going to pay for it. Now, this is hilarious since the mayor essentially called the governor of Texas racist for busing migrants across the country. Now, that's exactly what he's doing. So is he the racist? Now, New York has even gone farther. It's literally warning migrants not to come to New York. Here are some flyers that they're sending out across the southern border to make sure migrants get the message.
New York City is now planning to send flyers to the southern border, urging migrants not to even come there. The flyers saying there's no guarantee the city would be able to provide shelter and that housing is very expensive. So, quote, consider another city. This is Texas' speech in New York hit back at the criticism he's faced for busing thousands of asylum seekers there. Take a listen.
The city of New York and the state of New York are dealing with. It's caused by one person, Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Joe Biden can flip that switch any day.
It is true. That's
and
a
stop
fact.
New York from having to deal with the consequences of an
true.
open border.
Now, along with those flyers, the governor of New York is going on TV telling migrants, hey, listen, no matter what you do, you can come to America, but don't come to New York. Quote, go somewhere else.
We have to let the word out that when you come to New York, we're not going to have more hotel rooms. We don't have capacity. So we have to also message properly that we're at our limit. If you're going to leave your country, go somewhere else. But the smarter thing is to apply for asylum before you leave your country.
Now, listen, people, we have to think about this rationally.
Rational.
New York literally asked for this. They asked for it. They begged for migrants to come. Now they are begging for them to leave. The irony of the situation is extraordinary. As Morpheus said in The Matrix,
fate, it seems, is not without a sense of irony.
Yep.
See, the fate of New York is in the hands of the people who let the narratives of open borders win over common sense and reason. Now they have to live in a matrix that they created. And now they found out that reasonable border policy isn't racist, but necessary for everyone's safety, security, and well-being. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe.
Exactly. That's the point. But, again, ain't New York only. It's also Chicago, which we know how that goes.
Ask us. Nobody told us. We have more than few thousand people who signed a signature here who said no. We said no.
Tensions escalate on the southwest side as the city gets closer to housing at least 2,000 migrants at a base camp in Brighton Park. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Schneider.
And I'm Dawn Hasbrook. That encampment is slated for a vacant lot at 38th and California, but a meeting tonight grew heated when residents divided on the plan. Casey Cronus is live from Kelly High School with the latest. Casey.
Hey, Don and Scott. Well, residents say they only found out about the plan when they saw construction crews working at the site. Tonight, they were calling for transparency, but it's something many of them feel they didn't get when the meeting reached capacity and they weren't allowed in. We could even hear the pounding on the doors from inside.
A line down the block shows just how much residents wanted in on the conversation.
Dang. Dang.
But
look at that. Look at that. Now that's a line. Okay? That's the true line. Not the bull crap like I did a story a while ago when we were like, oh, well, a lot of people was talking about the transgender stuff, whatever. And you saw, and we have full capacity. It was like it was trickling people inside the building. That's a true crowd trying to state their piece, saying, hell no, hit the road, Jack.
Full auditorium meant the crowd stuck outside never got a seat at the table. Located at 38th and California, crews have already started making way for new arrivals. The city still needs to finish environmental testing, but says the site is suitable for prefabricated camp structures. They'll be built by Garda World Federal Services. The encampment will have heating and air conditioning, laundry services, a mobile kitchen trailer, and makeshift restrooms and
who's paying for all of this?
Showers.
And I want to stress that these shelters are temporary. We are not intending the city of Chicago.
No, son of a bitch.
Don't listen to this woman. No, it's not.
Does not intend to have shelters that are open for years and years.
That's a lie. That's a lie. I could tell you that's a lie right now. That's a lie.
A meeting on the matter brought mixed reaction, with some calling for better living conditions for migrant families.
Because I don't want any of my neighbors to have to live on the streets or in tents.
Others say they're concerned over safety and don't want the encampment in their neighborhood.
We have concern about our students, our children, who walk on this street every day. How do we ensure their safety?
Now, officials have not yet announced a move-in date. They do say this campsite will mainly be for families, and once the build starts, they say it could.
Families, again, I just pointed out to you multiple times, is mostly men. What families? There's barely any women and children. It's mostly dudes. You've seen all the videos and all the clips I played tonight.
Could be ready in a matter of days. Reporting live in Brighton Park, Casey Cronus, Fox 30.
But not only that, let's listen to a person who is a migrant. Let's hear what he got to say about the situation.
Now, the Biden administration has been, in a way, completely incompetent with immigration policies that they are portrayed to be human, but they're completely on the opposite, on the contrast. They're inhuman of what is happening right now in South America, Central America, and in the northern borders. Your perception about that?
I believe that the Biden administration has dropped the ball. Immigration, a lot of the countries are fueling are actually this crisis. Immigration crisis is not a crisis that is about. It is a lot of the people are being harsh conditions, but a lot of the countries are fueling this immigration by providing, in a way, transporting people, letting people in and using them as a way to all the people that are working with López Obrador to make sure that a lot of this immigration goes straight into the United States.
Do you think that immigration is being weaponized?
Definitely is being weaponized against the United States, against the Joe Biden administration. Joe Biden administration has lost the ball, has lost the power, and America has not been paying attention to what's happening. Mexico is being usually ganging up with all the countries to make sure that all this immigration goes straight into the United States, and that's what it is. I mean,
now let's pause right here. Again, this is the leader of a migrant caravan. Now, I'm not sure how many people he has with him. Maybe all those who are behind him, all these kids and families. I'm not quite sure if that's a migrant caravan, but it could be. And he's saying, look, Mexico is trying to funnel all the immigration into the USA. Now, and the question is why? Well, because they're getting inundated with all these illegal aliens as well. Because people are going through Mexico to get to the USA. Yeah. Because people know that if they reach the Mexico-US border, they can get across into the U.S. and it's fine. So they come from all over the world, from Africa, China, Europe, other parts of Asia, not just China, but all over the place. It was some Indians, some Syrians, a white Canadian, Europeans, Senegalese, everybody, the whole world. Every country knows, go to Mexico, get to the USA. That's going to be a strain on Mexico and a strain on us. But because the Biden administration, as my man said, have dropped the ball, we are not really going to see it into it until the U.S. acts. Until we shut the border off, what's happening right here will continue. He will continue doing what he's doing.
I went through the Darien. I went since Panama. I was
the Darien Gap in Panama. So we're talking about all the way like South America. All right, way far away to go through the Darien Gap in Panama. Then you're going through
Costa Rica, Nicaragua,
Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, possibly Salvador.
El Salvador.
Then the entirety of Mexico, going all the way up.
That's a long.
That was close to 7,000, and all these people went through. And after that, every country has been just providing the rights, charging them $20, $30, or $40, and then just pushing them in.
So he said from Darien Gap, Panama, they had 7,000 people. And every country that he has gone through since then, the ones I named, obviously, they're providing the rides $20, $30, because they want to make some money on the deal, obviously, but also they don't want them to stay in their country. So they're trying to get them out, trying to get them filtered through. So because ultimately, the destination is the USA.
So you weird how, you know, they'll mostly easily assimilate, most Spanish-speaking people who mostly assimilate in those countries, but they're like, no, keep it going, bye-bye. We don't need you here, but we're going to make a little money off of you, but keep on going.
So they can just get them out. That's the whole thing. And like I said, make a little bit of pocket change in the whole process.
Yep.
The way to the Mexican border, then when you get to the Mexican borders, you don't have the mass deportation. All they do is just hold them up and weaponize them and let them go. And make sure that the Joe Biden gives them money. As an American citizen, I would say do not give Mexico or any of those countries that are completely responsible with immigration, given 0 cents. And the Joe Biden administration has lost the ball. Does not know what to do with immigration.
Now, you know, it's crazy when a literal migrant caravan leader is giving rock solid advice on the immigration crisis. Rock solid. What he's saying right here is 100% correct. 1,000% correct.
Yeah.
Put this guy, like, replace him, take Tony Blinken out of there and put this guy in his place.
Out of there, yeah.
This another thing, and has lost a lot of the power, or hasn't even.
Not Blinken, but Alejandro Mayorkas. Same thing. Yeah, Tony Blinken, Alejandro Mayorkas. Yeah, you could just combine some of those positions and put him in there.
Call the countries into sitting down and make sure that he finds a way to stop this immigration, this bleeding. He has lost the ball. He's not doing anything. And I am a human rights defender for almost 70 years, and I tell you, I never seen it worse. And it's not because this is not normal. This is being used by the countries to make sure they get what they want from the United States. And Joe Biden has lost. I'm completely stunned. Where's the American intelligence? Don't they know that?
Wow.
All the countries are conspiring against the United States to make sure they have this crisis being.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Thank you. That's a smart man right there. We don't
made so they can charge for that crisis. They make the baby, now they're trying to sell it.
And now the ones that are benefiting out of this humanitarian crisis, because it looks like it's a business here, you know, from South America, from outside of the Darien. People are making money out of migrants.
Definitely.
And not only that, the cartels are the first ones that they are making a lot of money about the migrants.
There were 7,000 people on one day before the Darien, which is one of the places in Colombia. Do you think Petro is really care about the United States when this makes in one day 7,000 people paying 500, 300, 800? Of course, he makes more money with the cartels, the cartel de Sinaloa. Then all the power the United States might give him. He doesn't care about. He doesn't care what the United States think. He's conspiring with the United States, Mexico, to make sure that the United States gave him 60,000 millions once. I don't know how many millions Obrador was trying to charge the United States, but definitely it's not humane what they're doing, because they're charging that blood, that suffering of the migrants. They're trying to sell it to the United States, when the United States has lost the ball. Definitely Joe Biden has a lot to learn. I think
it said Biden's got a lot to learn. I mean, what he's saying, I don't see any lies on what he's saying. Nope, this is all truth. Yep. All truth. Bring this guy to Congress and let him talk. Really, because the nincompoops we got in there obviously don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't know the elbow from the high parts.
Policies of Joe Biden are worse than the ones of Trump, because Trump at least knew what to say to make sure that he doesn't fuel immigration. He didn't lose the ball that all the countries. The United States has lost the respect of all the countries. Obrador has more power to pull them in and make sure he gets what he wants from the United States.
Stuck in his. Hear how he's talk about that. All right? There you go. That's somebody right there talking about it like that. I can't say nothing better than what that guy just said. And he, like I said, that's smart. said before too. Like he just said, the criminals are passing through, gonna do harm. The cartels are doing the exact same thing. It's a stupid idea. But we see a lot of citizens in New York, Chicago, upstate. Hey, don't forget, what was it? Martha's Vineyard, all them. They're learning as well too. Yeah, this is a bad idea. We're Central City, yeah, we'll be ready, whatever. But that's a bad idea. No. Let's know who the people. Because again, you will not let anybody, I don't want to let anybody come in my house. I gotta know who you are before you come to my house. And again, remember, all people are like, oh, walls don't work. Says most of the politicians who have walls. You go to their house, what do they have? They have guards and they have walls. It's the same thing for people who are like, oh, guns don't protect. But why do you have guards with guns? Why do you have secret services with guns? If it don't work, it works. Y'all is full of crap. It's rules for thee, not for me. That's how they always work in that situation. But people keep on rising up, keep on putting your point up, do it peacefully. But go to these, as you guys go to Chicago then, go to these meetings, talk to these bastards and tell them, yo, we ain't doing this, and keep on fighting. Because again, it's your money that's going. It's not that. It's not their money. It's not their money. Just like that lady for the black neighborhood, when she forced all the food places. I'm like, wait, we could get a food restaurant. Y'all, because of the crime, we kicked out Walmart. We kicked out Whole Foods. We kicked out Aldi's. Oh, we don't just think to Save Lot. It's gonna give us food. We don't want Save Lot because we don't care about the food. You have no food. You better take what you can get. But again, she don't shop at the place where you shop. She drives and go do things. I'm gonna have another story about this woman who is a crappy woman, a crappy mayor who does a humble woman. That's all I can say. A humble woman. Anyway, as I said before, I hope you guys are doing. Have a good night. Thank you for giving me a time in and listen to the show. Again, remember you can check out on all platforms from YouTube to Facebook to Facebook to Spotify, of course, Rumble. We're gonna check us out on Rumble. We're there on Rumble as well too. And again, any place to listen to your podcast, Amazon, iHeartRadio, we'll be there. Anyway, yeah. So with that said, hope to get y'all next time. Hope y'all have a good night. Remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your neighbors, and that's how you make a strong community. And remember that evil comes in all shapes, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, sex, height, gender, nationality, whatever flavor of human you want to call. Evil is evil no matter what. And we should stop evil and just do good. And last but not least, remember, keep on fighting, guys. Do not let them hand up on that. The common sense immigration should be that. I have that. Go to the system. But this right here is not common sense immigration. This is stupidity at this most. So as I always say, people are stupid, individuals smart. Be a smart individual. Have a good night. Peace out. Get you next time.